Coffee.
Water.
3 months soda free.
Oof. I'm pretty soda free, but not soda water free.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't soda.
All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of Streaming Without a Paddle. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ted. And let's talk dumb money. I've been waiting to do that.
All right. You nailed it.
Thank you.
Was there a mirror involved coming into the show?
Maybe. I was pulling up the cast and everything while I said that.
Oh, Paul Dano, Shailene Woodley. Shailene. I've never gotten that one.
She's great.
And I'm so glad she and Aaron Rodgers
didn't work out.
I like her. I don't like him.
Well, I think she was like, "You're kind of a moron." That's my take is she was like, "Oh, you're just a crackpot spitting out stupid stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump you."
Oh, I thought you were taking like my kind of moron.
No. I think she was like, "Oh, you keep saying
I need morons."
She was like, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers," because it was right when he started saying all the stupid, crazy stuff, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna distance myself from this because he's an I'm gonna say it right flat out. He is an idiot." He's good at football, but he is stupid.
Well, you know what? I think he's an egotistical individual. And with that, you often find that they're never wrong.
Yeah.
They got all the answers. So, and as for a football player, he's above average.
He's a Hall of Famer, hardcore.
I think I'm a PR guy. Show me the numbers.
Okay.
I mean, Lovejoy, who just took his place at the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, he had a better rookie season, full rookie season.
I mean, he's like a fourth year, but his actual
it was his, right. Well, just like Aaron Rodgers would back up to Brett Favre for, 4 years before he got on the field?
Yeah.
On the gridiron. And but Joy's Love is his name. Lovejoy. That's from
Love and Joy.
Yeah. Anyway, Love, his full season rookie stats were better than Aaron Rodgers' full season rookie stats.
Yeah, he was good. He went to the playoffs.
Very good. But being a PR guy and understanding PR. You know, you got to get out in front and build your presence up. Make yourself look important. And Aaron Rodgers did that. I mean, he did do that, you know? So, and I don't mean any disrespect here, staying in the realm of football. Baltimore Ravens quarterback.
Lamar
Jackson. Statistically, he's probably the best NFL quarterback in the NFL last season.
Yeah.
Okay. But people won't say that. They'll say, "Oh, yeah, he's really good." No, he's the best. Statistically, he's the best. And the reason for it is because he's so low-key. He doesn't have that big PR machine that Peyton and Eli and Aaron have because they're always out there. You know, Pat McCaffrey got his podcast, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Who was Pat?
A kicker.
Yeah, well, yeah, he started out as a tight end, I think, too.
Did he?
And then he moved over to kicker and
punter. Yeah, punter. And then he's a professional wrestler.
But you see, everybody knows him now, but they didn't know him back then.
I would say,
and they think he's great now.
Right. I would say that both Travis Kelce and Aaron Rodgers are in the Hall of Fame statistically. Aaron Rodgers, Gronk. Gronk had a way better PR machine.
Gronk is better.
He's not, though, by stats. Okay. If you look him up.
Then thank you. PR machine.
Right.
That's what it is. People think it was
I would bet money without looking at it. Laporta, that plays for Detroit, had a better season this year than Travis Kelce. But Travis Kelce still had 900 yards receiving. But he's at the end of his career. He's got a year or two left, and then he'll retire. And, he's been in the league 10 years.
He's got a good IRA.
He's got a heck of one. Yeah, I mean, he's
Taylor,
like, yeah,
Taylor Swift IRA.
Yeah, he was like, hey,
that's his individual retirement account.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what he's going to still play for. One more year. What's the point? Finish your contract. Walk.
Yeah, I don't know what his contract is. And,
like, go walk.
I mean,
I want to be able to walk. I don't want to be like Junior Seau, who ends up getting CTE and killing himself. Anyway, off football. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Sidebar. Thank you for listening to Andrew and Ted Gridiron podcast.
But Shailene Woodley's a wonderful actress.
I think the world of her. I mean, and I got her when she first came out confused with Jennifer Lawrence because she came out with a Divergent series.
They did the same thing.
And Jennifer Lawrence broke in with the Mockingbird, Hunger Games. Yeah. And so, all right, anyway, this is a huge cast. This was a huge cast.
Yeah.
Paul Dano stars. Shailene Woodley, probably screwed that up. Talia Ryder. Wow. This is. I mean, she's been busy the last year or two, according to IMDb, but she's relatively new on the scene. She comes to us from Broadway.
Oh.
She's theatrical. Yes. So anyway, Seth Rogen, America Ferrera, Pete Davidson, Mahala Harold. We saw her in Leave the World Behind. She was great in that. It was interesting watching her in this, and I immediately recognized her. And that was the fact that her characters are two different characters in those roles. Mm-hmm. And she was able to diversify, I guess you could say, as an actress. She did really great in that. Vincent, you're going to have to help me on
D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Come on, man. He's been around for
I know. He's great. I just can't say his name.
He's been around forever.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
He's in everything. He was in that terrible Kevin Hart movie we reviewed.
I know, yeah. And Nick Offerman. You got to love Nick Offerman. Great. He's the best. So, and Anthony Ramos. He was great in this movie.
Well, who was Anthony Ramos?
He was the guy who worked at GameStop.
Oh, he was great. He was great.
I mean, he was really, really good.
He was really great. His ending was wonderful.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to keep working here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was great.
So, well, and this movie kind of touches home to me because I have a family member who actually works for GameStop.
Oh. So you will get
So...
Did your family member work at GameStop when this was happening?
No. They're new to the organization. So, anyway, Dumb Money, Netflix, 1 hour, 44 minutes. It's about, you want me to take this?
Yeah, go for it.
A few years back, 2022, I think it was, 2021, somewhere in there.
We were still wearing masks often.
Yeah. And it was kind of 2021, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of post-COVID.
Like right when
understanding.
The vaccine
I don't want to call that.
Yeah,
speaking of Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
It was right when the vaccine started happening, where you could
dig. Well, anyway, an individual, played by Paul Dano, he's a day trader. Mm-hmm. Young guy, young kid, and he's understanding the markets and learning about shorts and all that. And he's come to realize or believe that Wall Street, the professional brokers, have basically shorted GameStop stock, meaning they're going to make a huge payday if the stock drops below a certain level. So he has a YouTube channel and he talks stocks. And he picks GameStop and he's like, I'm putting my money in this. This is, and he did. He put his entire savings, $52,000, into GameStop. And then his listeners, and he just kept talking about it, and his listeners were like, you know what? And they're young. And so they too started day trading, buying up GameStop stock. And he was not shy, as I understand from this movie, or at least I took, that there was a purpose driven. This project was purpose driven because these people were betting on GameStop to fail, you know. So anyway, the stock went through the roof because of these day players. So all those people that were shorting or were in the stock shorting it, they were losing money hand over fist. And so the only way that they could stop this was basically to out-gamble these other people and short the stock even more by putting more money into it.
Thus losing more money.
And so it just became this. So it's a documentary. This is a true story, by the way. And and of course, Wall Street teamed up with the company that was handling the day trades. I forget the
Robin
name.
Hood.
Robin Hood.
Remember Robin Hood?
And I do remember Robin Hood.
Remember that advertising?
I do. And so they teamed up or got with Robin Hood and said, "You've got to put an end to this." And so Robin Hood put a stop to day trading.
Illegal.
And so, morally wrong.
Yeah.
Because they were never convicted of anything or charged.
Of course they weren't.
And so,
of course.
I know. So anyway, that is the story. This is what this movie's about. Dumb Money is that story. So what I found about this movie was that if you're not a quick study, you could get lost in it. Because people understanding why you keep putting money in and what the objective was and the shorting. And there was a lot of technicality to it that I could see, that would make this movie not interesting to people if they weren't able to pick up on the nuances beyond Pete Davidson's slacker brother character.
It took me about the first hour to really, because I don't know anything about stocks.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
It took me about the first hour and kind of Googling one or two things to be like, okay, all right. So then I kind of figured it out. It's like, yeah, then I got it. And then once I got it, I was like, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I really like this filmmaker. He did I, Tonya, the director. He's great.
What was his name? Dave
Gillespie.
Dave Gillespie?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
But he's great. Craig Gillespie. Yeah, he, I loved I, Tonya. I love this. You can tell he did both. It has he has a style.
He's a documentary.
Yeah, he used to be. Yeah.
He's a documentarian turned motion picture.
I'm gonna talk about this in two fractions. I'm not gonna give it a number yet. Don't worry.
Okay.
But I'm gonna talk about this in two fractions.
Go for it.
I'm going to talk about the performance and execution, and then I'm going to talk about my feelings overall about the subject matter.
Okay.
All of the performances were wonderful. I loved Paul Dano. I was pulling for him. Pete Davidson made me laugh. The dad, what's his name, that was in Shawshank and everything else.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the mom, him, they were great. Everyone in this movie did a great job acting.
I concur.
I really enjoyed the direction, and I really enjoyed the writing, and I found something that I don't find interesting, the stock market. Very interesting. While I was basically the college girls at the party figuring it out as it was going along, I still really enjoyed it once I figured it out.
I concur.
That all being said, you should all watch this movie. I found it very entertaining, and if someone that doesn't know anything about money, minus I have a retirement account that gains a couple $1,000s every 6 months. If that's all I know, or every year, whatever it does, that's all I know about money. Burn it all down. Good for these people. I couldn't have found myself cheering harder for these people. I was so jacked up hoping that they all went broke. I was so happy when the Robin Hood people that were talking about their Porsche and their Lamborghini lost all their money and clothes. All of you mega billionaires, I want you to lose everything. I want you to have to go back to a 9-to-5 job. That's how I feel. To me, this was a friggin' superhero movie. This guy was Superman, and he took down all these terrible pieces of shit. You can bleep me out. Pieces of shit that don't do anything for a living. They don't do anything. They guesstimate on what's going to, and then they all put their money here to make their money grow, and everybody else. You know who I felt for? America Ferrera's character. Yeah. She put in too late, and she didn't really get all the money, but it was just like, yeah, you're what we're all built on. These people like us that do stuff, normal people, burn it down. It's broken. You should all be taxed 40%. All of you, 50%, 60%. You'd still have more money than all of us. So there's my little, socialist take on it.
There is a disclaimer. We've said it before. These are the opinions of Ted and not those of the show.
Yeah, those are my opinions. No human being in this world should have over $25 million. There should not billions. Like, what do you do with it?
I know. I feel your pain, and I agree with your pain. I just don't share your passion.
That's what this movie was about to me. Like,
is that? Oh no, it is. It is. You're absolutely right when you say that. I mean, that's what this movie's about.
Corporate greed.
It is.
People and greed.
And you know what? I think. Well, you just validated the director and the writers, because they got out of you exactly what they wanted to get out of you, and that was your passion and your disdain for those people. Those people being the Wall Street types that just, make money by gambling on money.
That they already know.
There's no real work.
Yeah, they know the payoff because they're all in cahoots saying, let's do this together.
Yeah, they've done the math and they figured out, we've got enough money to tank it. Yeah. And that will double. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And they met up with a little group of kids there that just collectively had more money than they had and didn't tank it. Saved the company, actually.
I mean, those people, the big people we're following, the Seth Rogen, Vincent D'Onofrio characters, are still billionaires. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Did you lose a bunch of money? You're still a billionaire. Shut up.
Well, you see, those are the people that I disdain more than any on that Wall Street level. And those are those money manager markets.
Hedge funds.
Hedge fund managers, yes. Those people, because it's not even their money in the game. They're making money by using other people's money. I mean, and I don't, I don't subscribe to that. All right, we're getting a little off topic.
I didn't mean to get too socio-economic and political.
Yeah, and I don't know enough about it to really voice an opinion or share knowledge when it comes to the stock market. I just don't. I don't have it. I don't really do it. I mean, I've been involved with stocks and done a little day trading, but I'm not a big Wall Street. Oh yeah, the derivative and the shorting, and then we can backwash it and then flood it through, and I'm like, no, I don't know any of that crap.
I don't either, and I should reference that I was speaking heatedly, but of course, if you are out there working and you own a huge company and whatever else, as long as you take care of your employees, not everyone should make $1 million for every single job or whatever. You should just take care of people, and these hedge fund people are the worst people.
I know what you're saying, and I agree with you because I've seen it, I've watched it, and I'm not a big fan of it because there are victims, there are people that are hurt, even on the local level. You take somebody who started a service company. And they, instead of growing that service company, they grow it, one way or another, and good for them. But then they get greedy, and that's all it is. And then they start coming in and gobbling up everybody else. I mean, it's hard enough for their competitors for whatever reason. They've grown. I mean, it's not necessarily all legit. They might have gotten a big contract and they turn around and put all that money back into advertising, marketing, and more trucks or whatever. But they start eating up the little guy to the point where the little guy is now, or I say the little guy, they're competitors. Mm-hmm. And now they're hurting. So instead of sharing a market, they're trying to dominate the market. I mean, you've seen it. I don't want to. Yeah, here's the other thing too. Our governor owns a company called Lee Company, and I guess it's in a trust or whatever. And they started out, I believe, as a HVAC company, and now, and it was just a local Nashville company, and they've grown and gobbled to the point where they're statewide. And not only are they statewide as a HVAC company, they're now offering plumbing and electrical services. So now they've expanded beyond what they initially started, and now they're having an economic impact on other people.
Yeah, and he's also the governor.
Right. Well, he did that before he was the governor. So, I mean, that all transpired before. It's just too much. So we're getting off topic here. The movie, again, is Dumb Money, and there's a reason it's called Dumb Money.
Yep.
And, one could argue the thing that we're arguing here and our disdain from it is that Paul Dano's character in this movie, the one that the brainchild behind this,
Cat Daddy,
and he could have lost all his life savings, $52,000, but he didn't. But in the end, I don't want to say he was greedy, but in the end, he was worth $36 million.
Worth it. Good job.
Well, see, now he's doing the same thing that those other guys did.
But he's taking them down, and that's a drop in the bucket.
And somebody's going to start taking him down.
Well, no, because he retired.
It's the fishies. It's the fish thing.
He retired.
So he got his money and ran. Okay to do that. Okay to do that in Ted's book?
I don't know if it's okay. It's just such a drop in the bucket. You made a bunch of money for other people, taking down rich people that were just getting richer, that had chefs, and I
must have missed the part where he retired, and he could have. It could have said that.
Yeah, he's done.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, he's done.
Here's what I've said on this show before, because we've had this similar conversation. I think people need to walk away at some point, because when you walk away, you leave the door open for somebody else to take that place, because we don't live in an infinite space of growth. Mm-hmm. The universe in the business world is a balance. There's one CEO of a company, right?
Yep.
And as long as that CEO stays there in that company, there's really no room for growth within that company.
Yeah.
Because, He's at the head. He goes away, somebody's going to come in, take his place, and then the whole hierarchy in that organization is going to start to shift upward. So lives are going to be enriched by doing that. He should get his money and go. Now, we had this conversation, I think, when Bob Iger left Disney, and I had a tremendous amount. Now, the circumstances called for him to come back to kind of rescue Disney.
Yeah.
But he walked away at a relatively young age, retired, was doing his thing, and then he got called back up to the game, right? Because nobody knew Disney better than Bob Iger. So I get that, but he walked away, and I respected him for doing that, because he let the chain of events flow. So anyway, I'm for that. I agree with you wholeheartedly that you get your bucket full, go away. Now give somebody else an opportunity to fill their bucket.
Because unless you live in New York or Los Angeles, and even there, $32 million, if you just put it in a growth account, you're good for the rest of your life. And so are your kids.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing...
With today's interest rates?
$32 million with an interest rate a year, that's probably...
Well, you can figure at today's interest rates of around 4.5% on average, 4.5% just in a savings account. $1 million is going to bring you in around $3,700 a month, just in interest.
32, 3 times 32.
So yeah,
that's $100,000 a year in interest.
So yeah, that's that's today, and that's the good thing about it. You know, people are going, "Oh my God, the interest rates are so high. I can't buy a car. I can't buy a house." We've got to have a balance, guys. You got to be able to put money, just raw money, into a bank account and draw a little interest on your money.
Yeah.
Because you don't have enough money. There's not enough cash out there for you to go really buy stock, play this game that they played. Because this is an anomaly, what happened in this movie.
Yep.
You've got to have a balance. You've got to have a place, safe storage of money. And just like Ted and I sit here and talk, we're not stock savants. We don't get it. And we need to know our money's safe. And you know what? It's working for us. And so having a higher interest rate is a good thing. And here's the other thing. If you're buying a house and you've got a higher interest rate, your interest is tax deductible against your federal income tax. So you're just getting a bigger tax deduction at the end of the year because you're paying more interest on it. Yeah. So it balances out. It's like
also refinance.
I mean, it's just people are just oh my God, I hate how people bite into something and they just hold on to it without doing any fact checking.
Yeah.
You know, your mother, your father, your granddad, your grandmother, they don't need to be playing in the stock market, but they do need to be making a little money. So having interest rates where you can put your money into a CD or even just a savings account and draw some money. I mean, 2 years ago, you couldn't get a CD, a certificate of deposit, 12 months, 18 months. You couldn't get one of those that drew 1.5% interest. You couldn't because there was no interest on money back then.
Mine draws like 4%.
Yeah.
4.5%, something like that.
So, yeah. But today you can. You can get a CD that's over 5% on CDs now.
I think I might have 5%. I might, yeah. But I have a CD. That's what I do. That's what I do. Yeah.
That works for the working man. But you're complaining about high interest rates. No. Anyway. All right. Dumb money.
I give it.
I mean, it's a sidebar, but it's related.
Yeah.
It's related. I mean, it's topic related. So... You know, that or we could be talking about the number of quesadillas I ate at a craft service table one day during a production bet. Or lobsters. We had that too.
Oh, that's bougie.
That was bougie. Yeah.
I've had a couple bougie ones, but I'm acting, so it's like I'm not eating. I'm like, oh God, I can't eat.
Yeah. No, we'll save that for another show. But I will be a spoiler. I won. I ate more lobster than anybody. And there were some big guys at that table.
That's funny.
Yeah. And you know what I did after I won that night? No. The next day, I got a boat and I sat there and ate more lobster.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's living that Florida life.
And then I turned in the receipts. Thank you, Warner Brothers.
Listen to this guy. This guy.
All right. Let's give this some numbers. Ted, you want to go first?
Sure. I think it's just a movie. I don't really think we need to give it a genre score.
No,
on
just
one.
A movie.
Yeah,
just general entertainment.
I really give it like an 88. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Is that low?
No.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. Now it's
a high B. It was made well. It was acted well. If you can make someone that doesn't understand anything understand it by 45 minutes in, then you win.
Yeah. Well, I mean. You didn't, I mean, again, I think, as I said before, I think this movie has the potential of losing a lot of people if they didn't grasp the concept of what was being done. You grasped it because you took the extra steps of Googling. So, but having said that, on a personal level, I'm giving this movie a 7.6. That's it. It wasn't anything special. It was entertaining. I liked it. It's a C.
I'm going to adjust.
I'm going to say, okay.
85. That's as low. That's not a B plus. It's a B. I enjoyed it.
I've given it a 7.6. I enjoyed it too. It was a good movie. And you know what made it enjoyable for me was the acting in it, the performances. that more so, and again, we're different people than the average viewer out there because they're going to watch it to be entertained. But you and I watch it not only to be entertained, but we're also looking at the performances. Like Pete Davidson,
he was great.
This was the best performance
that he's ever had.
Ever. Right,
I loved him
right here. And I jokingly said to myself, that's because he wasn't talking about his dad dying in 9/11.
Ooh.
Not one. Well, everything he's in, he's talking.
Yeah.
His series, his movie, it's all about his life on Staten Island and where Staten.
Yeah.
And 9/11 and I lost my dad, But in this movie, none of that. So it's like watching a movie with John Cena without any reference to his penis.
Yeah. Huge penis.
Yeah. Nick or Pete Davidson, you did a great job in this movie. You really, really did. I love it. I love the scene where you borrowed your brother's car. I love
smoking.
That was great. That was great. Anyway, I like this movie because of the action, the acting in it. Talia Ryder. I hope I'm saying her name right.
I have no clue.
And she plays what would be the star college student in this movie. She was phenomenal. And no, she's not related to Winona Ryder. Huh. So, but they look a lot alike.
Similar,
you could see a resemblance there. So, and that's coming from a doppelganger.
You would know.
So I would know, yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, everybody did it a great job, and I'm not a big Seth Rogen fan, but he did great in it. Mm-hmm. And so I enjoyed it because of the acting.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. That's it. It's been a long, diverted, but yet off-topic show.
I loved it.
The show or the movie?
Both.
Okay. I'll give you my opinion on the show when we get into post.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to Streaming Without a Paddle. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew Baird.
And I'm your very opinionated on this movie host, Ted.